Welcome to Power Players. I'm Hossein Khanbagi, and today we are diving into a significant development in Middle Eastern geopolitics, the recent escalation between Israel and Iran. This isn't just merely about military strikes, it signifies a critical shift in regional dynamics with far-reaching implications. We'll be breaking down these events from multiple angles, political, theoretical, and indeed military, to uncover what this means for the future. So let's get started.
Welcome to Power Players, your source for in-depth international political analysis and breaking news reviews. Join us as we dissect global events, decode headlines, and explore the intricate web of geopolitics. Subscribe now and stay informed.
Israel has launched an attack on Iran. Interestingly, as the assault on Tehran commenced, I was in the midst of writing an article around 2:30 in the morning. I heard 5 powerful explosions, even though they are kept some distance from where I am in the northeastern part of the city. To give you a sense of scale, Tehran is extremely vast, stretching roughly 35 kilometers from north to south and 40 kilometers from east to west, with a population of nearly 9 million people in the metropolitan area. For such blasts to be heard and felt across this expanse underscored the magnitude of the event. Witnessing this firsthand, I was struck by just how high the stakes have become in this escalation. This operation calls for a thorough analysis from multiple perspectives, and here I share insights I believe others may have overlooked. We proceed from a theoretical and political examination to a concrete military perspectives, concluding with a look at the likely upcoming actions. So let's dive in and take this from the top. To begin, let's compare Iran's retaliatory strike on October the 1st, which involved nearly 180 ballistic missiles, including hypersonic variants such as the Fatah 1 and 2, which reached speeds of around 5 Mach. This operation shook Israel's perception of its skies invulnerability. Yet the most notable feature wasn't simply Iran's advanced missile capability, but rather the shift in the deterrence approach from a posture of patient restraint to one of calculated escalation. Rather than continually absorbing provocations without a direct response, Iran has chosen to escalate. This signals a clear message that it is now prepared to impose sufficient damage to alter Israel's strategic decisions. Deterrence in this context refers to the strategic capability of a state to prevent adversaries from taking hostile actions by instilling a credible fear of significant retaliation. It encompasses not only the demonstrated ability to inflict damage, but also the psychological impact of that capability on an adversary's decision-making process. Iran appears to have concluded that patience alone no longer preserves its standing or security. The cost of inaction has risen too high. In response, they've opted to the climb of the escalation ladder, signaling both the capacity and the willingness to act. With this framework in mind, let's examine the Iranian and Israeli strikes in direct comparison, each side climbing higher that ladder of escalation. Iran's retaliatory attack caused notable damage to the Nevatim air base and several other key sites.
يا ربا يا مصرهن يا اولاد مطربة يما يا ربا يا الله يا مطار واي يو يا ربا يا الله يا اولاد لازم
Israel in turn deployed an estimated 100 to 140 aircraft targeting 20 locations with a focus on Iran's ballistic missile fuel infrastructure, an exceptional strategic decision and, of course, a very dangerous one. Several Iranian air defense near vital oil refineries were also affected. From a political perspective, Iran's attack had a profound effect, breaking the perception of Israel's airspace as impenetrable. Another important takeaway is Iran's precision in targeting, underscoring its advanced technology and sophisticated intelligence on Israel's military assets. This wasn't merely a display of power, it was a clear message. We have the capacity and capability, and we have the resolve to use it. Despite some damage to Iran's air defense around oil facilities, one notable system in Tehran proved particularly effective, even outperforming Russia's S-300 system, which of course is Bavar 373, Iranian indigenous homegrown air defense system. Now let's consider Israel's recent response against Iran. Unlike Israel, Iran has never claimed that its air defense system is entirely impenetrable, which politically places Iran in a comparatively strong position. While Israel's counterstrike held strategic significance, especially with its focus on Iran's air defense, there is an essential nuance here that some analysts might be overlooking. Many have interpreted Israel's targeting of oil refinery defenses as a potential prelude to broader assault on Iranian infrastructure. However, beyond this apparent threat lies a tactical element that Iran must weigh carefully. If Israel's intention were indeed to strike directly at Iran's infrastructure, it could theoretically bypass air defenses altogether. No air defense system on Earth could withstand the sustained and intensive attack. This fact applies to both Iran and Israel, as recent events have demonstrated. So why then has Israel emphasized dismantling Iranian air defense system at the first place? The answer becomes clearer when we consider Israel's third target, Iran's ballistic missile fuel production cycle. Iran's missile complexes are deeply fortified and heavily protected, and Israel's standard missiles alone will likely struggle to reach and damage these sites effectively. Neutralizing these complexes would require specialized bunker-buster munitions, which only United States design ordnance can deliver, most likely dropped from Israeli F-15 and or F-16 aircraft. These munitions are too heavy for F-35, which would also require refueling. Thus, the degradation of Iran's air defenses is pivotal if Israel's aim to enter Iranian airspace and target these subterranean missile complexes. Should escalation continue, Israel's most probable course would involve direct strikes on Iran's ballistic missile sites. By undermining Iran's fuel cycle facilities, Israel may aim to induce a potential missile shortage, limiting Iran's ability to respond. Now, does this strategy fully succeed? Perhaps not. While this would significantly raise costs for Iran, strategically speaking, Israel faces a deeper and more intricate dilemma. Despite Israel's potential to inflict serious damage, this strategy cannot ultimately serve as a definitive long-term solution. In summary, this recent escalation between Israel and Iran marks a pivotal shift in Middle Eastern dynamics. We've seen how Iran's bold move with nearly 180 ballistic missiles, many hypersonic, has challenged Israel's perception of airspace security, signaling a shift in Iran's strategy from restraint to active deterrence. In response, Israel's estimated 100 to 140 aircraft strategically target Iran's air defenses and ballistic missile fuel production facilities, indicating a carefully calculated approach to limiting Iran's retaliatory capabilities. So what do you think? Do you think the any threshold for peace or ceasefire have been crossed between these two nations, or is there any possible chance that we could reach an agreement or have at least some kinds of ceasefire? And in the end, thank you for watching Power Players. If you found this analysis compelling and hopefully insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss our deep dive into the forces of shaping the 21st century. And of course, your thoughts are the most welcome. Until next time, be informed and be engaged.
Subscribe, stay informed, and remember, in politics, nothing is ever as it seems.